Okay, so this next segment is kind of crazy in all the right ways. We are here with Poland's pop diva, Blanka, who took Eurovision by storm with her fierce dancing and catchy pop confection, Solo. Blanka, welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your first single was Better, which you wrote yourself. Yes or no?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because I kind of count my first single as solo. Better is a song that I wrote and I released by myself with no label, nothing. And you know, the craziest thing is that Better is like charting in some countries right now.
The power of Eurovision, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So when you talk about the songs that you've written, what were you drawing on? Was it real life experience?
Well, definitely my life. Like in Boys Like Toys, there's an actual night.
Please, Blanka, dish, tell us.
No.
Are we going to break some news, Blanka?
I'm not telling that story, but if you want to know more, you should listen to the second verse.
People can call in with their fan theories. Let us know.
Yeah.
With Solo, you won the national finals, but there was a bit of a backlash online. And,
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit, right? Traditionally, you think of Eurovision fans as very supportive, and I think more and more with the advent of the internet, you're seeing a little bit of a change, right? What was it like to be in the center of that storm?
It was a crazy time, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Obviously, I'm a human, so I did have hard times and harder evenings and harder mornings, waking up, absolutely. But I just kept on thinking I need to focus on getting prepared for Liverpool.
Having been to see Eurovision twice now, the fandom when you're in person, it's really incredible how supportive and lovely the fandom is. At the same time, there is like a growing problem with this fandom that's been traditionally known for being so supportive with cruelty online. Do you think there's anything the festival could do or should do to protect artists?
I feel like for sure there's something we should all do. We should bring it up because sometimes I feel like people don't want to talk about it. They're like, oh, it's all flowers and rainbows, and it's not.
Yeah.
And it's not, and I felt it on my skin. It's so cruel what happens online, and not only during Eurovision. We all have opinions and different opinions, but the stuff that I have in my DMs, this should be absolutely illegal. Like I heard Chanel got bullied. So I heard that and it didn't make me feel better, but I was the kind of, okay, so I'm not the only one that gets bullied.
It like points to the fact that this is an issue with like a broader culture. It's not even about one person. It really is about like how we are treating each other.
The contest says united by music.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why are you bullying people?
So much of the hate was so awful. And it even seemed to me like it had nothing to do with your performance and much more fundamentally a real mistrust that some people have of TVP. Basically, ever since Law and Justice came into power, do you think that's the case? And do you think reforms should be made to insulate TVP a little bit more from the government and from politics?
It's hard for me to speak on it because a few months ago I was working with TVP and many artists in Poland are working with this television. And I feel like it's really hard for me to talk about it. I do feel like a lot of the hate and a lot of the bad comments came from that connection, absolutely. But especially for a new artist like me, like I'm not in the music business for years. Right. I'm here for not even a year.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for a new artist to set any rules or have a voice. For sure, what can we do? Right. These are the pre-selections. In Poland, it's connected with this television and you do it or you don't do it. But then all the hate comes to you.
Right. Well, that's the interesting thing, right? Nobody is knocking down the door of the broadcaster.
So it's a hard topic. And every year the artist wins and it shouldn't be taken away from the artist. And I feel like it is. So hopefully people will start to understand that this is music and it's like separate for an artist from everything else that's going on in a country.
You were kind of the big comeback story of Eurovision 2023. I think the first turning point was the Beba dress you wore on the turquoise carpet.
Incredible.
It was so good. Loved it.
That was so much fun.
And honestly, also, I thought it's such a powerful thing to engage directly with a lot of what was being said online. Were you afraid of doing that? Were you like, this is only going to make the backlash worse?
No. I was actually super excited about that. I couldn't wait. We were thinking with my stylist. She was like, oh, I have this idea for this huge dress. And she showed me the dress. And I was like, you know what? There's so much space on it. We should write something on it. And she looked at me like, what do you want to write on it? My first idea was to write all the different names, all the bad words, everything that people called me. At the end of the day, we decided to just put a Beba on it. So that would be more powerful. I remember her asking, okay, what color should the Beba be? And I was like, pink, you know, like you have to make it real Beba.
Yeah.
So that was so much fun to just wear it and embrace it in a way.
We also have to talk about that first rehearsal in Liverpool where you unveiled a whole new staging. It blew people away immediately. Online, the clip everybody was talking about it. What was the inspiration behind the revamp? You changed the staging team? Or no?
Well, you know what? At the pre-selections, there was no staging team, kind of, in a way.
So that was the change. So, there was a team.
Yeah. I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. I knew after the pre-selections that I wanted to do the revamp and, you know, the dance break for sure. So we just got in the studio. We did it in one session, super fast. I knew exactly where we were going with it. And then I took it to my choreographer, and how busy I was, it helped me with all the negative stuff because I wasn't able to like sit at home and think about it.
The dance break was amazing. Did you always know that you wanted that a part of the performance?
Absolutely, yes. I've been dancing since I was 4 or 5 years old, so pretty much my whole life.
Were there any other artists at Eurovision that you felt like you became particularly close to?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's nice that you ask about it because I'm doing a live with Iru from Georgia today. We became kind of like the Eurovision friends. We're still in touch and we're texting and we're trying to catch up as much as we can. Every artist was really amazing. Just even when we were running through the wardrobes, we were like, oh, hi, how are you? High five. The atmosphere there was absolutely incredible. This started when we were doing the pre-parties together, like in different countries and stuff.
Can you talk about the pre-party circuit and what that's like from an artist's point of view?
You kind of get to feel the vibe of Eurovision at the pre-party. My first pre-party was in Sweden, I believe, and it was amazing. People knew every single word. And that was like literally 2 weeks after the pre-selections or something. That was like super fast. And I was in shock. I'm in Sweden and people are singing my song. This is when I realized the power of Eurovision fans and how amazing they are. And they're just so into it.
The video for Boys Like Toys is amazing. How did the concept of that video come about?
Well, the video concept started from the thought of turning boys into toys and into teddy bears. It should not be taken too seriously. Like, boys are not like toys and we shouldn't play with their feelings, but watch out, don't try to play us. I saw a guy doing a reaction on YouTube and he just stood up and started dancing. He started doing the full-on floor choreography, like in his apartment. I was like, that's exactly what I want people to feel. I want them to have fun and enjoy.
I couldn't help but thinking when I was like, actually, even Boys Like Toys in a way too, but better in solo. They're thematically connected, right? This idea that you as a woman have agency over your own sexuality and are often better off single or solo.
Of course. Yeah, if you think about it, it's all connected.
When you're writing songs or choosing songs, is that something you consciously think about?
Well, I think about it because I'm going through it. I was in some relationships, and for now, obviously, I'm better off solo, and I'm just focusing on my career and my work, and I can't have someone distracting me, especially when the person is not good for us. I feel like my music will be like a relationship advice.
Yeah, look into verse 2, everybody.
Verse 2.
I'm still at the same stage in life. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
not in love.
We're not suddenly getting an album that's all about I love this man so much.
Yeah.
Nope.
An album of wedding tunes by Blanka.
Oh no, not for a while.
Blanka, thank you so much for talking to us. We are such huge fans of yours.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for having me again.
Okay.
Mwah.
All the mysteries of the Euroverse.